My beloved child, the signs from heaven are sounding. Their bell danger is quietly creeping toward your very doorstep. If you are not watchful, your heart will easily be swept into that invisible whirlwind. When the heart grows restless, the darkness quietly seeks an opening to step in, and from there unease will begin to take control. In that moment, only listening and placing your full trust in God has the power to keep you from falling. There are times you may not realize it, but the very haste in your smallest choices becomes the key that unwittingly swings open the door to chaos. Decisions born of worry often lead to mistakes. One rash step can make the journey ahead unbearably heavy. When the human heart is pressed by pressure, you will naturally try to grasp everything tightly in your hands. Yet the more you strive to control, the deeper you fall into the snare the darkness has laid. You believe yourself strong, yet in truth, you are only walking in insecurity, allowing cracks to creep into every relationship around you. And there is a bitter truth: the noise of the world is always louder than the gentle voice of God. You busy yourself searching for immediate solutions, but miss out on eternal wisdom. In that moment, your soul becomes directionless and your ears too restless to hear His teaching. Remember this: when you make decisions out of fear or pressure, you often step outside God's plan. What seems a small action can bring great destruction, not only to yourself, but also to your family, your friendships, and your work. The lesson here is to know when to stop. Stopping is not weakness. It is making room for God to speak. It is this very slowing down and waiting that will protect you from consequences you may not be able to reverse later. I have seen many lose themselves in their haste. When fear drives and pressure weighs down, people often choose the fastest path rather than the truest one. Yet that short path opens into an abyss, leaving the heart as turbulent as the stormy sea. Haste never brings light. It only leads the steps further astray. You may not yet see it, but in every hasty decision, the darkness waits to slip in and take away your peace. I know your heart has often thought, if I delay, I will lose my chance. If I wait, I will be left behind. But that very thought is the thief of true freedom. When you act out of fear of missing out, you allow worry to rule instead of faith. The price of haste is not just a small failure. It is a chain of consequences that wounds your soul. Cracks in the heart often begin with impatience, then spread into fractures within your relationships. Long ago, there was a man named King Saul. He was chosen by me to shepherd my people. Yet in his impatience, seeing the Philistines surrounding him, Saul would not wait for the prophet Samuel to come and offer the sacrifice as I had ordained. He stepped into what was not his to do, and that rash decision marked the beginning of his loss of the throne. Do you see? Haste not only led him away from me, but cast a shadow over an entire kingdom. My beloved child, do not think that slowing down is losing. In truth, slowing down is the space in which you hear my whisper. When you pause, you will see the hidden things that haste can never reveal. I do not rush you into immediate decisions, but I long for you to wait for my leading. Every minute of patience is a minute in which you give peace, not chaos, the authority to rule. And only the peace that comes from me can keep your heart whole. Look back at your old wounds. How many of them began with a hasty decision? How many times have quick words strained a relationship? How many times have you chosen the shortest way and paid for it with long regret? Do not condemn yourself harshly, for all people easily fall into that trap. What I desire is that you see the truth, and from now on place your steps under my guidance. When you stop and ask me first, you are training your heart to be steadfast, leaving no room for chaos. Do not fear that slowing down will cost you what is precious. It is haste that causes you to lose what endures. I want you to understand, losing a small opportunity is nothing compared to keeping eternal life in peace. Sometimes I purposely let you wait, because in that waiting, you learn far more than an instant success. Do not let haste blind your spiritual sight, for once the darkness slips in, it will draw you far from the light you were meant to dwell in. My child, haste is an invisible but familiar enemy. It never appears in a terrifying form, but only whispers in your ear, "Hurry, or you will lose everything." I tell you, that is not my voice, that is the scheme of the darkness. Do not listen. Learn to stop, to breathe, to pray. In that brief moment you will find the light you need to guide your way. And where the light dwells, chaos has no place to hide. Step into a new rhythm of life, one where every decision rests upon peace, not fear. I know this is not easy, for the world constantly urges you to run faster, achieve more, hold tighter, but do not let that urging throw your heart out of rhythm. Your rhythm must be mine, slow, steady, and full of peace. If you keep this rhythm, you will no longer fear losing your way. My beloved, there is something even more dangerous than haste, the desire to hold everything tightly in your hands. When you believe you can control every outcome, you are letting fear rule. Behind that appearance of strength lies a restless soul that dares not entrust anything to me. And it is there that darkness enters, planting illusions in you. If you do not hold it yourself, you will lose it all. But you do not realize that the tighter you grasp, the more you lose what is most precious. I recall the image of Sarah in the days she longed for a child. The promise I gave to Abraham still stood, but she could not wait. In her desire to control destiny, she gave Hagar to Abraham to bear a child for her. That decision seemed like a solution, but became the root of jealousy and conflict within the household. Do you see? When you shape the future by your own hand, you not only lose peace, but also create tangles not easily undone. You often think that the desire for control keeps you safe. In truth, it only gives you a false safety, like building a house on sand. When the storm comes, everything collapses. The more you try to hold tightly, the more you must strain against your fears. And those fears, day by day, erode your soul, leaving no room to receive the peace I long to give you. That is why I teach you, commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act. Psalm 3:7-5. You do not need to hold tightly, only to let go and let me work. My child, the darkness is cunning. It never tells you to abandon me outright, but stirs in you the desire to rule in my place. It whispers sweetly in your ear, you know better than God. You can manage on your own, if you believe that you slowly close your heart to my guidance. A closed heart is like a darkened room no light can enter. In that state, even the obvious truth is obscured, and you will no longer discern right from wrong. Do not think that surrender is loss, my child. It is in fact the path to receive far more. When you release, you will see my hand silently at work, arranging all things with wisdom beyond your understanding. Like a child placing its small hand into the Father's, you do not need to know where He leads, only to trust that He will bring you safely. The craving for control makes you a prisoner of anxiety, but surrender opens the door to freedom. At times you may think you are living fully, but in reality your soul is hemmed in by a forest of clashing sounds. This world shouts with promises of quick results, with alluring calls, with endless petty worries. In the midst of that noise, my gentle voice is buried. You still pray, but your heart is not quiet, so my words cannot find their way in. You are living in noise, and that very noise is the veil by which darkness hides. I see you each day rushing from one seemingly urgent matter to another, work, news, worries, conversations. Everything surrounds you, leaving your mind no moment of rest. But in that very state you miss what is most precious, the stillness to hear me. I do not blame you, for all easily fall into this cycle, but I want you to see the noisier the world becomes, the more you need a quiet place in me. Remember Elijah, who once stood boldly against an army of false prophets on Mount Carmel. But when he fled in fear, I came to meet him, not in the mighty wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 1:9-12. Had Elijah waited only for me to appear in grandeur, he would not have recognized my tender presence. You are the same. If you let your ears be filled only with the world's noise, you will miss the whisper that leads you back to truth. I often think that I must know so much, must keep up so quickly, must answer every call around me. Yet the more I listen to those voices, the farther my heart drifts from your heartbeat, for the world never stops speaking, but you wait for me in stillness. Do not let my soul become like the sea, driven by the wind, always in turmoil. A heart filled with noise cannot tell what is true from what is false, and that is the path that leads to being lost. Do you know, my child, sometimes the most dangerous noise is the one you've grown used to. It is not the loud cry, but the steady sounds you think are harmless, the chatter of others, the silent comparisons, the ambitions stirred day by day. They seep in like water dripping upon stone until you are no longer alert enough to hear my voice. You are swept away without realizing you've lost your direction. That is when darkness hides inside what seems ordinary, drawing you away from me without your knowing. Yet I still wait for you with patience. I still plant within you those moments of urging to seek quietness. All it takes is the courage to pause, to set aside every sound, and you will see that I am still here, ready to whisper healing into your ears. Just a few minutes of silence each day is enough for my light to shine once more into your soul. It is in that stillness that you will realize you do not need more promises from the world. One word from me is enough to change your whole life. If you truly desire to escape the trap of noise, you must dare to choose silence. Do not fear being left behind, for stepping out of the world's rhythm is the very way to keep your soul from chaos. Practice pausing in the midst of your day, breathing in. My presence and darkness will have no room to slip in. And from this stillness you will begin to see another root: pride and self-will, the silent veils over the spiritual eyes that make it harder to hear my voice. My child, there is a kind of darkness that is neither loud nor hurried, yet more dangerous than all: pride. It comes like a thin mist, veiling your eyes without your noticing. When you think your own understanding is enough to guide you, when you trust your private wisdom in place of the wisdom that comes from me, it is then that you lose the light. You no longer seek me, for you believe you can walk alone. But the more confident you are in yourself, the more blind you become to what is truly happening. Long ago, there was a man named King Uzziah. He began his reign in humility, depending on me, and I prospered him greatly. But as his power and fame grew, his heart filled with pride, he entered the temple and took upon himself the work reserved only for the priests. And the consequence was that I struck him with leprosy for life. Do you see? Pride turned a beautiful beginning into a sorrowful end. Remember, this self-satisfaction is always the first step away from me. I know that in human eyes, confidence and initiative are seen as strength. But my child, there is a fine line between healthy confidence and dangerous pride. When you forget that the source of every blessing is me, your own understanding becomes a veil. That veil keeps you from admitting your faults, from opening your heart to ask forgiveness. In that moment, darkness does not need to do much. It only needs you to lock the door of your own heart. Do not be surprised to see those who seem wise fall into ruin. They read many books, know many theories, yet their spirit is closed, leaving no room for my guidance. Pride makes their eyes blind, their ears deaf, their hearts hard. Remember, God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. When you refuse to humble yourself, you not only lose the chance to be led by me, but you also bear the heavy weight of pride pulling you down. Beloved, humility is not about lowering your worth, but daring to confess, I need you. When you can say you're sorry, bow your head to learn, and recognize your mistakes, that is when my light floods in. I do not want to see you fall under self-satisfaction. I want to see you strong in humility. Only in humility can you be healed, corrected, and walk in true peace. And if you listen closely, you will discover humility is also the key that leads you to trust and surrender. For only by laying down the proud self can you truly rely on me. From there you will understand that faith is not straining to believe in yourself, but resting in the Father, the one who is always at work, even when you cannot yet see. And that is the path into full restoration. My dear one, sometimes you ask yourself, has it all been ruined beyond repair? That fear breeds doubt and drains hope. But I tell you, nothing is too dark for my light to reach. The night may be thick, but one small flame of faith can change the whole room. What I wait for from you is not strength, but trust. You have walked through the wounds of haste, wrestled with control, listened and understood the noise and the pride. None of this was to shame you, but to show you it is faith that is the key to the door of restoration. When you place your trembling hand in mine, you will find peace again. Not because you have every answer, but because you know I hold all things. In that faith you are rebuilt. Remember Peter when he stepped out of the boat amid the storm. He walked on the water for a few steps because his eyes were fixed on me. But when he doubted seeing the strong wind, he began to sink. Only when he cried out, "Lord, save me," did my hand immediately reach out to catch him. Do you see? The key was not that Peter was strong enough to walk, but that he dared to trust me. So too with you. You do not need to prove yourself, only to entrust yourself and let me fulfill the work. Do not think that faith is some great feat or extraordinary power. Faith is simply a decision to trust me more than your fear. When you choose to trust, you are giving me room to act, and when I act, no force can hinder the healing and restoration in your life. For faith does not begin with you. It is the gift I give to steady your steps across the abyss. Therefore, set your heart on me. Choose trust instead of anxiety, surrender instead of control, silence instead of noise, humility instead of pride. Every road you have walked leads here. My hand still waiting for you to take hold. When you truly trust, you will see that darkness has no more power to bind you. You will step into a new life where restoration is no longer a distant hope, but a radiant reality. And my child, this journey has never been only about fear or brokenness. It has always been about me, the one who has never left you, never tired of waiting. Let faith bring you home. Let trust open the way forward. For wherever I am, there is life, there is healing, and there is a hope that never fades. Beloved child, I know your heart has never meant harm or wished to destroy. Deep down, I see you only long for what is good to build, to protect, to love. Yet in those moments when you strain alone, when you forget to come to me, you open a tiny gap for chaos to slip in. It does not arrive like a storm, but like a mist quietly covering your mind. It begins with doubt, not doubting me, but doubting yourself, and then slowly doubting those you love. And so the thread that once wove hearts together with trust and love begins to fray. I see this, and my heart aches with yours. For I know you do not wish it so, but without my intervention, you are like a rudderless boat drifting on the current, easily carried off without realizing it. Do you notice how every great breakdown begins with small silences? When communication thins, when words of love go unspoken, when hearts close to truth and to each other, that is when darkness quietly takes root. You think you are keeping things calm, but that silence becomes fertile ground for misunderstanding and suspicion. This is not because you are bad, but because you are fighting alone, trying to manage by yourself and forgetting that I am always beside you. You trust in your own insight, thinking you can turn everything around, but in that very moment you take on a burden that was never yours to bear. I do not blame you, my beloved, for I know the pressure of protecting those you love. I know the nights you stayed awake, the countless worries you carried to keep peace for others while your own heart bled. But my child, at your weakest moment, remember that I am your strength, I am your refuge. I am the living water that can soothe your thirst for control and ease your restless heart. I once told you, do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will make your paths straight. That is not an empty promise, but the beating of my heart for you. Do you know when you surrender your own will, when you let go of the desire to control outcomes, you will find a peace that surpasses understanding. Not a peace you create, but one I give like a quiet river flowing through your soul. I want you to see that true wisdom does not lie in knowing every turn or predicting the future, but in daring to entrust me with everything, your fears, your doubts, your hopes, and your joys. Then you will witness the miracle. The tangled threads slowly become clear, the hidden wounds begin to heal. Those you love will find their way back to one another in understanding. Do not blame yourself too harshly. Mistakes do not define you. They only reveal your limits so that you know to return to safety, where I wait for you. Picture me as a father standing at the door of the house, waiting for his wandering child to come home without reproach, without judgment, only open arms. I want you to experience the freedom of laying down the weight and believing that all things rest in my hands. It is when you let go that you are lifted up. It is when you are weak that I make you strong. You may think I am far, but the truth is that with every breath, every step, I am beside you, waiting only for you to look up and meet my gaze. My beloved child, I understand your worry when you see someone you love might be hurt, when things do not unfold the way you had planned. But my dear one, love is not control, it is trust. Protection is not holding tightly, it is entrusting. When you place the ones you love into my hands, I will do what your strength cannot. I will hold them in my arms and care for them with a love greater than any human love. You lose nothing when you surrender. Instead, you are freed from fear and from the pressure of having to do everything yourself. You will feel your heart grow lighter, no longer chained by what if or in case. You will know that nothing happens outside of my reach, and even what you think is broken can become a piece of a greater work that I am making beautiful. I long for you to learn to slow down, to open your heart, to listen for me in the stillness rather than the noise. It is in those moments of quiet that you will hear my whisper, I love you. When you hear this, fear will dissolve, doubt will retreat, and you will find joy again. I do not promise that the road will be free of storms, but I promise I will be your shield and your guiding light. You do not have to find your way alone in the dark. Simply holding my hand is enough. You will see that the darkness is not so frightening because within it, my light still abides. You will see relationships that seemed faded come alive again when you choose love over suspicion, dialogue over silence, forgiveness over blame. All of this begins when you let me lead you. I want you to remember that you are loved not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. You do not have to strain to prove your worth or your ability. I saw you from the very beginning. I knew your weaknesses, your stumbles, yet I still chose you. That is why you can draw near to me without fear. You can cry in my arms, you can pour out all that you are hiding. You do not need to hide your weariness nor pretend to be strong. You only need to be real with me because it is only in that truth that you will be healed. The more you try to appear strong, the more exhausted you become. But when you accept your weakness, I will fill you with my strength. The more you open your heart, the more you will feel my support. The more you let go, the more peace will flow through you like a cool stream in the desert of your soul. My dear one, do not forget that I am the one of infinite wisdom, the one who sees the whole picture while you see only a fragment. You can think of yourself as standing before a vast painting and seeing only a few scattered brush strokes. You see chaos, but I see the complete picture. You see thorns, but I see flowers. You see tears, but I see tomorrow's smile. Trust me even a little, and that little will grow into unshakable peace. Then you will walk without trembling, love without fear, give without calculation. This is the freedom I want you to experience, the freedom of one who knows they are loved unconditionally and guided step by step. So do not isolate yourself in worry or in your limited understanding. Do not let silence become a wall. Let your heart grow soft. Speak, listen, seek me in every breath. I will teach you to speak words that heal instead of words that wound, to see the good in others instead of only their flaws, to open yourself to truth in love instead of closing yourself in suspicion. You will discover that what seemed dark is simply an opportunity to lean on me more deeply, to know that my love is not only words but a power that can transform hearts and circumstances. Remember, my beloved child, you do not have to walk alone. I am right here. As soon as you return, as soon as you hand me the burdens you are carrying, I will carry them for you. You will see fear lose its power, chaos lose its hold. You will return to being a child of love, of peace, of light. And from you, that light will spread, warming relationships once cold, reviving hopes once extinguished. You will become an instrument of peace in my hands, bringing love to where there were wounds, bringing life to where there was death. This is what I have destined for you. This is the journey I invite you to enter. Even if you have stepped away from the path of peace I wished for you, that does not mean the door to return has closed. On the contrary, it is in the darkest moments that my light shines brightest, like a torch guiding the lost. My child, look deep into your heart. Do not see only mistakes. See also the potential I planted in you from the very beginning. Every fall is not a full stop, but an invitation to rise, to learn how to live in truth and in love. Let your wounds become seeds for growth. Let your tears wash away the hidden bitterness in your heart. I have not come to condemn, but to redeem, to lead you back to rest. You must understand that no pain is meaningless if you place it in my hands and no mistake is too great to outrun my mercy. What you think is loss I will use to create something new if you will entrust me with the right to do so. You must remember that healing does not happen overnight. It is like a quiet river wearing down stone little by little, drop by drop. To heal, you must learn patience, not only with circumstances but also with yourself. Do not torment yourself with if only or what if. Every moment you spend in regret is a moment you miss my call. Return to the present where I am waiting for you and begin again from here. The humility you need is not self-contempt, but the courage to admit that you cannot save yourself, that you need me. You need the guiding light. When you open your mouth to ask, when you admit your weakness, that is when my strength floods you like rain soothing dry ground. But first you must realize the unseen power in words. One word you speak can become a seed of peace, but it can also be an arrow piercing another's heart. I know there are times you speak in anger, trying to protect what you love. I understand the trembling in your chest when anger rises. But my child, true strength does not lie in raising your voice, but in restraining yourself to speak in love. Each word you speak is like a hammer. It can break down the wall of separation, or it can break someone's heart. So choose to be a builder, not a destroyer. Use your tongue to encourage, to lift up, to heal. When you change your words, you change the atmosphere around you. A broken family can be rebuilt by gentle words, apologies, and sincere forgiveness. Do not think that words once spoken cannot be redeemed. I am the one who can turn ashes into beauty. If you have sown harsh words, dare to sow gentle ones. Apologize, speak the truth, declare goodness over those you have hurt. Because every time you speak my truth, you erase the imprint of darkness. Forgiveness is not only an act of the mind, but a declaration with your lips and your deeds. Speak forgiveness as you would plant a seed, and from that seed the tree of peace will grow. And do not forget to forgive yourself. You have bound yourself with invisible accusations, but today I tell you that you can be free. Open your mouth and declare that freedom. Call forth the goodness I have promised you. Do you know every choice you make is like a door leading to a path? Some doors lead you closer to me, some lead you away. But no matter how far you go, I am still waiting at the end of the road. Your choice today matters more than yesterday's mistakes. You can choose to return, to take my hand. When you surrender fully to my will, you will see wonders. Relationships thought broken will revive. Wounds thought incurable will begin to heal. I do not promise the path will be easy, but I promise you will not walk it alone. Imagine your heart as a garden. Over the years, weeds of anger, resentment, and regret may have grown thick. But today I come bringing seeds of love, forgiveness, and peace. All you need to do is open the gate of your garden, allow me to pull up the weeds, to till the soil, and to plant new seeds. It will be painful because some roots run deep, but if you are patient, the harvest of peace will come. You will see blossoms of hope rising from the ground that once lay barren, and as your heart changes, your words will change too. You will speak words of encouragement, words of life, words that build rather than destroy. My child, remember, darkness cannot overcome light. Even if you have invited darkness through wrong choices, my light is still stronger. When you pray, when you speak truth, the darkness must retreat. I want you to understand that the power does not lie in you straining to make everything better, but in letting me do it through you. All you need is to obey, to be patient, and to open your heart. Then what once held you captive will disappear. Look around you, my child. Those whom you love are also thirsting for words of life. Perhaps they too are suffering because of words you once spoke. Become a fresh spring flowing from my own heart. Speak words of comfort, utter words of healing. Let those who have been wounded feel the warmth of compassion. When you do this, not only will they be healed, but you yourself will be healed. For nothing frees the soul like loving unconditionally, forgiving even when no one apologizes, sowing peace, even when no one demands it. I know this journey is not easy, but believe this, every step you take in humility, patience, and surrender brings you closer to my embrace. Do not fear slowness, for slowness is the soil in which the deepest things are formed. Do not fear tears, for tears are the stream that washes the heart clean. Do not fear weakness, for in weakness my power is revealed in full. Simply persevere in doing good, persevere in speaking what is kind, persevere in keeping light within your heart until the seed of peace blossoms, until your family is once again filled with love. My beloved child, I speak these things not to reproach you, but to help you recognize that my arms are open for you. I did not come to expose your faults, but to give you a new chance. I want you to understand that the past does not define the future, and that today's cracks can become the very places where light enters. Return to me, place everything in my hands, and begin with words of prayer, words of forgiveness, words of love. Then you will see miracles unfold. And you yourself, once lost, will become the one who guides others back into the light. Oh, my beloved child, now that you have courageously faced the truth and dared to touch the wound you have long tried to hide, the next step is to open your heart to love more, forgive more, and bind more closely. Do not be afraid to look back at your mistakes, for the moment you bow your head in acknowledgement, you do not become smaller, you become stronger than ever. I know your heart is still crowded with worries, filled with doubts, but know this: no relationship truly collapses where love and forgiveness are present. Understand that when you approach those you have hurt with humility and sincerity, in that very moment you begin to sow the seeds of healing. Do not let pride or the fear of rejection hold you back. Forgiveness and reconciliation are not signs of weakness, but the mark of a soul that is mature and strong within. When you speak an apology from the depths of your heart, you are not taking all the blame. You are saying, I value this relationship more than my ego. I value peace more than winning. The more you humble yourself, the more their hearts are moved, and I, myself, will do the part you cannot do. Remember that in every journey of healing, prayer is the breath, the lifeline that keeps you from collapsing. Do not wait to come to me, only when you are exhausted. Come to me as soon as you begin to act, for I am the light guiding you, the hand that lifts you up. Tell me everything you fear. Let me hear every choking sob within you. I never see you as weak when you cry in prayer. On the contrary, I see you as courageous for daring to place your burdens in my care. Do not be ashamed to come to me. Do not think you have gone so far that I will turn you away. I am always waiting for you like a parent longing for the return of a wandering child, arms open wide to hold you. Even before you speak, I know what you cannot yet utter. Believe that each time you come to me, you draw nearer to the freedom, the peace, and the strength you long for. I know you still carry a silent fear that the fractures in your family are too deep, that these wounds cannot be healed. You look around and see everything crumbling, words like knives, actions like brick walls. But my child, do not forget that I am the one who can turn the impossible into possible. I am the one who breathes life into dry bones, turns deserts into rivers, ashes into glory. If you allow me to take charge, if you place everything in my hands, I will do what surpasses your understanding. You are not alone in this struggle. Even when you cannot see me, I am working silently, arranging the pieces, so that one day you will realize everything has been healed in the most wondrous way. Trust, my timing for my time is not your time. What you see today as a great failure may be the very foundation for tomorrow's miracle. Do not conclude that everything is over, that your family has lost peace forever. As dawn follows the night, as spring bursts forth after winter's cold, my restoration will arrive at the right moment. Be patient in waiting, but not waiting in despair. Wait with living hope. In every day you persevere, I am shaping your heart to be deeper, more patient, more loving. I am teaching you to see with the eyes of faith, not only with the eyes of fear. Picture a day not far off when your heartfelt apologies mingle with tears of repentance like the first rains falling on parched earth. That earth will soften, and the seeds of forgiveness and love you have planted will sprout. There may be times when the hearts of those you love remain closed, but do not lose heart, for every genuine act you perform is a drop of water nourishing those seeds. One day they will bloom into peace, understanding, and closeness, as you have longed for, and even when you cannot yet see it, you can rest assured that I am working behind the veil you cannot see. My beloved, learn to lay down yourself so you can lift others up. When you kneel to wash the feet of those who hurt you or whom you have hurt you, are lifting yourself out of the pit of pride and false dignity. Do not fear that humility will make you seem small, for, in my eyes, it is the most radiant beauty of the soul. Humility does not take away your worth. It makes you more noble, more free, more at peace. You will no longer be haunted by being right or wrong, winning or losing for. You will have understood that what matters most is not triumph, but loving enough to build a bridge. I know you are weary. The prolonged conflicts have drained you. The heavy silences at home feel like a house without warmth. But right now, I invite you to set down your burden, rest your head on my shoulder. You do not have to carry everything alone, for I am here to share, to uphold, to heal. Every prayer of yours, whether a trembling whisper or a choked sob, I treasure like a precious gem. You are not invisible to me, not lost in my heart. You are the child I love, wherever you are, whatever your circumstances. So walk on, even if your steps are slow but steady. Begin by opening your heart, by apologizing, by praying, by trusting. Do not wait until everything is perfect to return to me, or to make peace with others, for it is the very process that creates the perfection. I will walk with you through every stage, every trial, every word that is hard to speak, and when you look back, you will see that each tear, each bow of the head, each prayer has been a stone building, the bridge of love restored. My beloved, restoration is not far away. It begins today, in the very moment you choose to act with sincerity of heart. Do not fear, do not lose heart, for I am with you. I will lead you, show you the best path, place words on your lips and strength in your heart. And when the dawn of healing breaks, you will see your family not only restored but renewed deeper, closer, stronger than ever. This is the miracle I have prepared, a miracle meant for you alone because you belong to me, and I have never ceased loving you. My beloved, let your heart be still in this moment like a lake after the wind has quieted, so I may continue to speak to you the things my heart has long held. I know in today's life so many pressures, so many voices are crowding your mind, making you unsure what is real and what is false, which is the voice of peace and which the noise of fear. But precisely in that chaos, you need to seek stillness. I am not asking you to run away from life. I only ask you to learn to stand firm in it without being swept away. When you choose to be silent and listen, you will not only hear my voice, but also your own, the deep desires I planted in you from the beginning. This is the path where my light will guide you step by step, even when darkness still surrounds you. Understand that the light I give you is not something vague or far away. That light is the warmth of a gentle word, the support of a hand extended when you fall, the sense of peace in a lonely night. That light is present in every breath you take, in each moment you choose courage and goodness over harm, and every time you lift your eyes and say, "Show me the way. I will never abandon you, nor leave you to struggle alone." My love for you is not conditional or calculated. It is a love that knows how weak you have been, how lost you have wandered, yet still opens its arms to welcome you back. No matter how far you go, no matter how wrong your choices, you can always return, because this love is not measured by merit or balanced by guilt, but only knows how to embrace and heal. The wounds you carry may be deep, they may make you think you cannot revive, but I tell you, truly nothing in you is too broken for me to touch, no darkness too thick for me to shine through. See life as a garden, some patches overrun with weeds, some roots dry and seemingly dead. Yet when the rain and sunlight return, they can revive and sprout again. So it is with your soul. When you let my love and forgiveness flow through you, the dry places will live again, the dark corners will be cleansed, new shoots of life will appear. You do not need to be perfect to be loved. It is precisely in your imperfections that you can truly feel what it means to be loved. Do not let fear become the one steering your boat. Fear always says, do not move, do not trust, do not hope anymore. But faith and courage say, keep going, for you are not alone. When you stand at a decision, pause and ask me. Let me become the compass, guiding you instead of your worries or the judgments of others. Remember, coming to me is not a sign of weakness. It is proof of wisdom. Only humble and courageous souls dare to admit they need guidance, need support. Do not fear mistakes, for no one lives without stumbling. What matters is that after each fall you choose to return to rise again, to place your hand in mine and continue. The more time you give to silence, to seeking and discerning my will, the more you will see the world differently. The noise of this life will not vanish, but it will lose its power. It will become like the wind outside the window, still blowing but no longer shaking the peace within your room. To reach this, you must practice each day, even just a few minutes. Sit down, breathe deeply, turn off the screens, set aside your cares, let your soul be like a field open to sunlight. In that quiet you will hear my voice clearly, not with your ears, but with your heart. It is not loud or harsh, but gentle, patient, and full of love. Think of your life as a long journey where I walk beside you, whether you notice or not. At times you think I am absent, but truly I walk with you, quietly protecting you. Like a father watching his child's steps from a distance, so the child may learn to walk without feeling constrained. I too let you experience growth through challenges. But whenever you call, I will run to you, lift you when you fall, wipe away your tears. This is the promise I placed in your heart from the day you were formed, and it has never changed. You also need to learn to view your hardships differently. Do not see them only as burdens. See them as lessons, as opportunities for you to grow and for me to show you the strength of my love. Every trial you endure can become soil where your faith grows. Every tear you shed can become a seed from which hope sprouts. And each time you choose to return to trust, to forgive yourself and others, you open the door for me to enter more fully, for my light to spread through your life. My beloved, do not fear solitude, for in solitude I wait for you. Do not fear silence, for in silence my voice is clearest. Do not fear failure, for it is failure that lets you know what it means to be upheld. Let me become the heartbeat within you, so you will no longer have to grope your way alone in the dark. When you learn to seek me, to listen to me, you will find peace, even if your circumstances do not change. That peace does not come from all problems disappearing, but from knowing you are not alone, you are loved, you have a place to return. Do not forget that your family and your loved ones are an extension of my love for you. They may have hurt you, but they can also become a source of healing. Open your heart, give them and yourself a chance to mend what has been broken. Do not close the doors of your heart because of past wounds. Just as I have never closed my doors to you, you too can learn to forgive, to trust again little by little. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, but choosing not to let the past imprison the present. This is also how you set yourself free, how you walk lighter, freer. And finally, remember this: no matter how long the night may be, the dawn still comes. I am that dawn, the ray of light seeping through the cracks when you think the night will never end. When you walk in faith, you will see that light not only ahead of you, but also within you. You are not lost, not an abandoned child. You are a beloved child, cherished, chosen to carry a great mission within you, to be my small light in this world. And as you walk with that light, you will not only find your own way, but also illuminate the path for others who are weary and longing for guidance just like you. My child, this is my message for you today. Trust, listen, open your heart. Let me be your refuge, the place where you find strength, the place where you find direction. Do not be shy to come to me. Do not think yourself unworthy. You are worthy not because you are perfect, but because you are loved unconditionally. And that love is still waiting for you, still chasing after you, still calling your name every day, every hour, every moment. Beloved child, I want you to know that precisely in the moments you think you are lost with nothing left to hold on to, I am closest to you. When the noise of life grows chaotic, when every burden pours down upon your shoulders like an endless storm, I have not left you. I am standing there patiently waiting for you to turn your heart toward me. Remember that the silence you feel is not absence, but an opportunity for your soul to learn discernment and to find me in deep peace. Trials are not meant to crush you, but to shape you as a blacksmith tempers a blade in the fire to make it sharp and useful. Every tear you shed, every heavy sigh in the night is not meaningless. They are cultivating in you a heart that is humble and sensitive to my guidance, a heart strong enough to walk the path of truth, even when you cannot yet see the light at the end of the road. You must understand that listening to me is not simply sitting and waiting for a sound or a clear sign. It is a long, patient process in which you allow your mind to be cleansed of worries and noise and your heart to soften under the teaching of the Spirit. You must learn to be silent within, to stop debating, to stop running after the fleeting invitations of the world. This silence is not emptiness. It is fertile ground where I sow seeds of wisdom and direction. And when you patiently tend that ground through prayer, reflection, and trust, you will see those seeds sprout into a peace beyond understanding, a peace no storm can sweep away. Do not be afraid if you cannot yet hear my voice clearly. Like an artist learning to feel each note in a symphony, you too are learning to recognize each gentle rhythm of mine in your life. I am not in a hurry. I do not grow weary. My love for you is greater than every limit. I am more patient than anyone could ever be with you. All you need to do is open your heart, pause, breathe deeply, and believe that I am still at work even when your eyes do not see, your ears do not hear. It is precisely in the quietest moments that I am weaving good things, preparing a path for you that one day you will look back and see that nothing was random. My child, do not think that the pressures of life are the only enemy standing in your way. Often it is your own inner haste, your self-imposed expectations, your anxious need to control everything that becomes the barrier keeping you from hearing me. Learn to let go. Letting go is not giving up. It is opening your hands to receive. When your hands are full of the things you cling to, fear, pride, ambition, there is no room for me to give you greater treasures. Letting go is the first step to learning how to listen, because only then will your heart have space for my presence to fill. When you learn to let go and to listen, you will see that my voice does not always come as thunder or fire. Sometimes it is like a gentle breeze brushing your soul, like a sudden thought rising in your heart, like a deep peace descending on you in the midst of chaos. Do not despise these small things. It is precisely in the simple, the seemingly trivial, that I reveal myself. It could be a verse you read in the morning, a piece of advice someone casually spoke, or a quiet prompting you cannot explain. When you learn to recognize these signals, you will realize I have never been far from you. I walk with you always, step by step, breath by breath. Be patient with yourself. The journey of learning to hear me is a process of transformation, not only changing how you listen, but changing who you are. You will become softer, more humble, more sensitive. You will realize that my voice is not only guidance, but also comfort, a hand lifting you when you are weak, a light shining in the dark, a source of strength to keep you standing when storms arise. And in that companionship, you will be transformed from within, becoming a person with a heart full of love, compassion, and wisdom the world cannot give. I know you long to be close to me, to understand my will for your life. This is a beautiful beginning, but you must understand that this journey is not always easy. There will be times you stumble, times you doubt, times you feel distant. Yet each time I am there, reaching out to lift you, to wipe your tears, to remind you that you never walk alone. I do not only guide the path, I walk with you on it. And each experience, whether joy or sorrow, light or dark, is shaping in you a steadfast faith, a deep love, an unshakable trust. See these trials as opportunities to know me more deeply, not as signs I have abandoned you. Each time you choose to return to me, to seek peace in my presence, rather than in the noise of the world, you are laying the foundation for a resilient life. When storms come, your house will not fall, for it is built on rock, not on sand. That rock is me, unchanging love, unfading promise, faithfulness beyond all you can comprehend. Beloved child, you may not yet see the whole picture, but I see it all. You are looking at one small piece of your life, but I am weaving a radiant tapestry. Every thread, every patch, whether dark or bright, is needed to form the perfect design. If you only look at the dark pieces, you will not understand the beauty of the whole. Trust me, keep walking, keep listening. Even when you do not understand, even when you do not see, I am working in silence, preparing good things beyond what you can imagine. And as you continue to learn to listen to me, you will see that my voice is not only to guide you, but to make you a light, a warmth for those who are lost around you. When you have endured trials, when you have known what it is to be comforted, you will be able to comfort others. When you have learned to hear me, you will be able to become a voice of hope for the despairing. The love and wisdom you receive from me are not for you to keep, but to share, to spread, to become living water for thirsty souls. Let this journey be not only your own transformation, but also the beginning of a new stream, the stream of love, of hope, of faith. I am here, I am still guiding, I do not change. You need only open your heart, listen, and walk. In each step, you will recognize my voice more clearly, my love more deeply, and you will no longer doubt that you are my beloved child, created for a purpose far greater and nobler than you have ever imagined. Beloved child, I see within your heart the sincere impulses, the deep desires to change circumstances, to heal what is broken, to make life gentler and lighter for yourself and for those you love. I understand you act not out of selfishness or pride, but out of a desire to love in the way you know how. But it is precisely in that haste, when you rush to find solutions, when you try to hold on to what is slipping from your grasp, that you forget sometimes the miracle is not in immediate action, but in waiting and listening. You forget that some doors only open when you pause, some paths only appear when you sit still in silence. This is what I want you to learn, the lesson of patience, of stopping to wait for. My voice of trusting that my timing is different from yours and my plan encompasses more than your eyes can see. The world, my beloved, does not move by your cramped schedule. Everything in the universe turns to a deeper rhythm when I set before your first cry. Everything in my plan has purpose, timing, and wisdom you cannot yet perceive. When you rush ahead of the time I set, when you move faster than the steps I lead you, not only tire yourself but also invite chaos. You tangle the threads I am patiently undoing, you stir the waters I am settling, and in the end you are swept into a whirlwind of your own anxiety. You do not realize that waiting is not a punishment of delay, but part of the soul's transformation. Waiting teaches you to trust, to let go, to know that you are not the center of the universe, but the little child in my arms, carried and guided by me. When I speak, it is not only to give you the answer you request or to soothe you for a moment, but to train your heart on the journey of trust. Each word I speak is a seed sown into your soul, and that seed needs time to sprout, to take root, to bear fruit. If you dig it up every day to check, it will never grow into a tree. Likewise, faith does not grow in impatience, but in patience and faithfulness. You must believe that I see the best for you, that I see the whole tapestry of your life, from the fragments of the past, the chaos of the present, to the glory I intend for your future. Believe that every step you take has meaning, even the ones that feel like missteps are in my hands to turn into the path that leads you home. Believe that I will never let you fall into darkness without a way out, never lead you to the edge without my hand to lift you. But to truly trust me, you must learn to listen. Listening is not forcing me to speak. It is creating space for my voice to rise. Listening is clearing the noise from your mind, quieting the endless streams of thought, closing the doors you've left open to every distraction of the world. Do you know, my child, that your own desires, your own thoughts, your worries and fears are the bricks building the wall between us? That wall is not one I built, but one you unconsciously raise as you strain under your own burdens. And when that wall stands, my voice, soft as a breeze, becomes hard to hear, not because I am not speaking, but because the noise inside you drowns it out. Do not fear, do not lose heart, for I am not only the one who speaks, I am also the one who teaches you to hear. I not only call you closer, I also give you the capacity to come near. I will teach you to discern my voice among the many. I will teach you to recognize my peace amid the swirling winds. You do not have to be perfect at once. I am patient with you, like a father patiently teaching his child to speak, to walk. Every time you fail, I am beside you. Every time you wander, I bring you back. When you learn to set aside each distraction, to lay down each burden, to sit in stillness, it is in that moment that you will hear my voice more clearly than ever. It will not be only a voice. It will be a stream of peace, a gentle breath drawing you into new life. Imagine your soul as a still lake. When the winds of desire, fear, and impatience blow across it, the surface ripples and the reflection becomes distorted. But when you let me calm those winds, the lake becomes smooth and you will see my sky reflected clearly. You will see my will as light piercing through the pure water, guiding you step by step. You will hear my voice no longer as something vague, but as clear and steady as the heartbeat of a mother holding her child close. This is what I long to give you, a peace. The world cannot give a peace beyond all understanding, a peace that only I can bestow. When you are in that peace, you will no longer need immediate answers, for you will know that even before answers come, I am with you. Even before solutions appear, I am at work for your good. My beloved child, slow down, breathe deeply, open your heart to wait. Do not see waiting as wasted time. See it as the place where you are reborn, where you are taught, where your faith grows. In that waiting, I am preparing you for what I am about to give. I am reshaping what is inside you so that you can receive something greater. Like a seed in the earth, like a child in the mother's womb, everything needs time to form and mature. You cannot shorten the process without damaging the outcome. In the same way, you cannot demand that I act according to your timing without losing the greater good I have prepared for you. Trust me, my child. Trust that when you are waiting, you are not abandoned. When you cannot hear my voice, I am still whispering in the smallest details of your life. When you cannot see my hand, I am still holding you. Do not let the noise of the world pull you away. Do not let fear build walls. Sit in silence. Let your breath merge with mine. Let your heart beat in rhythm with my heart. I will teach you to hear me more clearly, to discern what truly brings peace and what only weighs you down. You will learn the art of listening, and in that listening you will find the path to true peace, the path that leads you back to me, the one who loves you more than all. My beloved, I tell you that silence is not an escape from life, but the way back to find new strength. Silence is not abandoning work or responsibility, but learning to enter the deepest place of the soul where I am waiting for you. When you sit and shut out the outer noise, you are opening the door within. There you no longer need to hide your weariness, no longer need to force yourself to be strong, for there you can exhale weakness and inhale peace. The world has taught you that only effort brings results, but I teach you that sometimes the greatest result comes when you stop and allow me to act within you. Silence is where I reshape your heart, heal wounds you didn't know you carried, and place in it a joy nothing in this world can take away. My child, when you come into silence, you will realize it is not the empty void you once feared. It is not nothingness, but a fullness full of life. My presence full of life, full of love. Like the dawn after a long night, silence opens for you a new sky where you can hear every word I speak to you. When you are too busy, my voice still falls like raindrops on a churning lake, scattered, vanishing, unable to leave a mark. But when you let your heart grow still, those raindrops become widening ripples, leaving deep impressions. That is why I so urgently call you to silence, because in silence you will know me, recognize me, and understand the voice that has been speaking all along. I know you have asked yourself, how can I be still when so much is demanding my attention? You must understand that silence does not require a perfect setting or endless hours. It can begin in the smallest moments, a deep breath in the middle of work, a short closing of your eyes in the crowd, a simple prayer whispered on the bus. Each of these moments is a seed planted in the soul. If you persevere, those seeds will grow into a garden of peace. You do not need to leave your responsibilities to find me. You only need to let me step into each moment of your life. This is the secret of silence, not escape, but invitation. My beloved child, when you live in silence, you will discover a wonder. All your busyness and weariness no longer feel as heavy as before. What once drained you now becomes the opportunity for me to show my strength through you. You will find yourself still working much, but your heart no longer tossed about. You will see that it is silence that turns work into prayer duty, into service, and every breath into a hymn of praise to me. Then you will not only find peace, but also the true purpose of everything you do. You will understand that peace does not come when you finish everything. Peace comes even as you work, because I am with you. My child, do not fear silence. Do not fear facing yourself in quiet moments. It is there that you will hear my voice. like a gentle stream, like a soft breeze across the meadow, like a hand resting gently on your shoulder. And when you become familiar with that voice, you will no longer be confused among 1,000 other sounds. You will know what is true and what is false, what calls you to the light and what pulls you toward the dark. This is the greatest gift. Silence brings the ability to discern and to recognize me. That is why today I invite you not to take on more burdens, but to lay some down. I am not asking you to do more, but to allow me to do more within you. You only need to stop, breathe open your heart, and let me enter each beat of your heart. Then the peace you long for will no longer be a distant dream, but a reality in every moment you live. You will feel new strength rising, new love flowing, new light shining, because you have learned the first key: silence. My beloved, in the pauses of life where your soul is no longer disturbed by the noise of the world, you will begin to perceive my presence more clearly than ever. It is the place where complaints cease, where calculations end, where doubts about right and wrong, gain and loss fade away, leaving only the peaceful breath and the presence of the one who loves you unconditionally. Do not think of silence as a luxury, only for those who retreat or have plenty of time. Even in a hurried life, even in a small room in a noisy city, silence can find you if you choose to open your heart. When you pause a little amid your work, when you breathe in the fresh air outside your window, or simply when you close your eyes before sleep, these are the moments you can give to me. Do not underestimate such brief moments, for it is precisely in these small moments that the soul opens to receive my gentle word. When you call these moments holy, they become doors leading you to a world of peace where I wait for you with open arms. Learn to cherish silence as a precious gift I give. No elaborate rituals are needed, no complex forms, only a heart ready to surrender, a mind ready to listen. Then even in just a few short seconds, you will feel my presence touching your soul like a cool breeze on your skin. In that silence, I will speak to you not with noise or force, but with a gentle whisper deep enough to move you from within. That voice will not frighten you or burden you, but will bring clarity, guidance, and support, helping you to see everything through the eyes of faith instead of fear. You will feel your heart lighter, brighter, as though the darkness inside is being dispelled by light. But my child, listening alone is not enough. The key to truly hearing my voice is obedience. Do not stop at listening and nodding. Take the next step, act. Every word I speak is not just to be remembered, but to be lived. Every guidance I give is an invitation to move forward, to step out of the comfort zone you have grown accustomed to. I know there will be times when what I say surprises you, may unsettle, or seem strange to you, because it differs from what you want or what the world praises. But do not forget, I am your Father, the one who sees from the beginning to the end. I know every step you take, every corner you have yet to enter. Every word I speak carries my good intention for you, not to confine you, but to free you from what holds you back and lead you into a life of blessing, peace, and depth. Obedience is not the loss of freedom, but the true freedom of a soul that trusts. When you hear and obey, you are saying, I trust you, Father. I trust that your plan for me is better than my own. This is the language of faith. You do not need to understand everything immediately to obey. Sometimes understanding will come after you step out. I do not demand perfection, but I long for you to dare take that first step out of your safety zone, to dare believe my hand still holds yours, leading you each step of the way. As you obey, you will see changes not only in your circumstances, but within your own soul. You will find yourself more at peace, more courageous, and more filled with hope than ever. My child, the world may teach you to control everything, to rely on your own strength and wisdom, to measure all things by reason and gain. But I teach you another way, the way of trust and surrender. It is not always easy, but it leads you to abundant life. Each time you hear and follow me, you are planting a seed of faith in the soil of your heart. That seed will sprout into inner strength, patience, and a love greater than all fear. The more you walk this path, the more you will see that no act of obedience is ever wasted. Even when what I ask seems contrary to your momentary desire, it still leads you into a future more spacious, beautiful, and peaceful than you imagined. Remember, silence is for listening. Obedience is for turning what you have heard into life. When these two unite, you step into a new way of living, where you no longer scramble for answers in chaos but find clear direction in peace. That is when you not only hear my voice, but live in it, walk in my light, and reap the fruits of trust, love, and peace you have long desired. You will see everything changed, not because the world has changed, but because you have been transformed from within. And that is what I most desire for you, a heart at peace, humble, trusting, and ready to follow my word. My beloved, I know you long to see results. As soon as you take a step of obedience, to see miracles happen instantly like lightning splitting the night sky. But my child, obedience is not only about following, but also about waiting patiently. You must learn that my delay never means my absence. My timing is not your timing, but is always perfect, always precise, always for your deepest good. Every moment of waiting is a lesson of faith. Every moment of patience is a cord drawing you closer to me. When you endure waiting without losing heart, your heart is refined like gold in the fire, clearer, purer, stronger, to receive the blessing when the time comes. Do not forget that a seed sown in the ground cannot sprout and bloom immediately. It needs time, darkness, the quiet of the soil to sink roots and push forth a shoot. So too with your life, the words I sow in your heart will blossom, but only in their season, neither early nor late. I know you have grown discouraged at times for not seeing what you pray for come to pass, not seeing your dreams open up. But it is in those days of waiting that I am working silently in your soul, preparing you for what you cannot yet imagine. You see delay, but I see preparation. You think you are forgotten, but I am shaping you into a better version worthy of what I am about to give. Remember that my ways are higher than your ways, my thoughts higher than your thoughts, as the sky is higher than the earth. When you do not understand, trust. When you cannot see, be patient. And when you have no strength left, fall into my arms, for I am always with you, always giving you strength each day, each hour, so you can keep walking. My child, the third key to hearing my voice is humility, a precious jewel few seek, but whoever finds it holds the treasure of peace. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, but placing yourself in the posture of readiness to receive, to learn, to let me correct you. Come to me with a heart as soft as freshly plowed soil, so that the seeds of wisdom may take root. When you realize you may be wrong, when you dare to lower yourself to listen instead of argue, you are opening the door for my voice to echo more clearly in your soul. I see pride as a thick fog that veils your sky. It creeps into the moments of your success when you feel you have the right to decide everything, when you think you have understood it all. Pride whispers, I no longer need anyone to guide me, and then it shuts the very door you need to open so that I may enter. It is like a curtain drawn across a window, blocking the sunlight from coming in. Do not let this pride steal your ability to recognize my voice. Do not let your own wisdom become a barrier that keeps you from receiving my endless wisdom. When you believe you are enough, you lose the priceless gift I am offering. When you become self-satisfied, you will no longer see the path I am pointing out. Beloved, one, practice the habit of bowing your head and opening your heart. Treat humility as the breath of your soul, so that each day you inhale the spirit of softness and exhale all self-exaltation. As you practice this, you will find that my voice is no longer strange but familiar, like the sound of a father calling his child home. When you lower yourself, you will realize that my guidance is not an imposition, but an upholding, not chains but wings. Humility is the gateway to true freedom, for only when you stop relying on your own strength can you soar in mine. Remember, my child, patience and humility are not two separate roads, but two converging streams leading you into the waters of life. Patience teaches you to wait for my timing. Humility teaches you to receive my will. A patient heart that still holds pride will not yet hear my voice. A humble soul lacking patience will still rush past the blessing. But when you are both patient and humble, everything becomes lighter, and my voice within you no longer feels distant, but as near as breath as the light slipping through the curtains at dawn. My beloved, it is when you understand the worth of humility that your soul truly opens to receive my voice in depth. Humility is not self-abasement or believing you have no value. It is a right awareness of your place before me, the source of all life, all wisdom, all strength. When you bow your head, you do not lose your dignity. You find yourself in truth. In that humility, you recognize that a finite human being cannot know all things or steer the boat of life alone through uncertain currents. You admit you need me as a dry tree needs water, as parched ground needs rain. You see that every wisdom you possess, every achievement you gain, every breath you take comes from me. Standing at that beginning point, your soul becomes soft as tilled soil, ready to receive the seeds of truth I sow. Humility is also the key to listening without letting ego intrude. When your heart is full of the voices of pride and self-will, you will struggle to hear me, because the noise of the self drowns out the gentleness of the spirit. But when you lay down that self, you stop arguing, stop proving yourself right, stop trying to control everything. You step into an inner stillness where I can teach, guide, correct, and uphold you. There is no more rush of schemes or heaviness of expectations, only willingness, a true readiness to learn, to grow, to be transformed in the way I desire. In that place you will see more clearly my presence and my guidance, like a fresh breeze moving over an open field. Know, my child, that humility is not the destination alone, but the road that leads you to faith, the fourth key to hearing my voice. In humility, you recognize your limits and your need for faith to cross them. Faith is not a fleeting feeling nor a blind self-persuasion, but a placing of trust in the one who does not change the bridge from what you see to what you do not yet see. Faith gives you new eyes to behold the invisible, to trust my guidance, even when all around seems silent or dim. Faith is the soul's response to my voice, even when the mind has not fully understood. You must believe that I am speaking to you even when your ears have not yet heard clearly. Believe that I am leading you even when your feet do not know the way. Believe that I am working in your life even when your eyes have not seen the result. Faith is not a fragile hope, but a certainty, an inner evidence of things unseen. It is peace beyond understanding, courage to stand firm in storms, patience to wait when all doors remain closed. Understand that faith is not for you to compel me to do your will, but for you to submit to mine. Faith keeps you steady through the process, not only the outcome. For there are times I lead you down long roads where each step is a lesson and each bend has a purpose. You cannot see the whole picture, but I can. You do not understand the whole path, but I do. When you place your trust in me, you allow me to lead you to places you never imagined, to give you experiences you never dared hope for. Beloved child, humility and faith are like two wings of a bird, lifting your soul above the heavy ground of doubt and fear. Humility helps you recognize your need for me. Faith helps you hold on to me. Humility teaches you to bow down. Faith lifts you up. When these two flow together in your life, you will be freed from the chaos of worldly noise, from the pressure of control, and step into the sky of freedom where you can hear my voice clearly, like a cool stream flowing through a dry desert. You will discover that faith not only opens your ears to hear, but also opens your eyes to see the signs I send. Faith turns waiting into hope, trials into opportunities, darkness into the place where faith is strengthened. As faith grows in you, you will become strong, not as the world defines strength, but strong in trust, in perseverance, in love and kindness. You will become a living testimony of my faithfulness, so that your life itself becomes a call for others to return and seek me. Therefore, beloved child, do not fear to step into humility. Do not hesitate to live by faith, for it is there that you will hear my voice most deeply, most clearly. You will see that I have never been far from you, never abandoned you, and that everything I do is to lead you into richer life, deeper wisdom, fuller peace. As you continue to walk in humility and faith, you will become a fine instrument in my hand, not only to hear my voice, but to become my voice for a world thirsting for hope and longing for light. Beloved, every breath you take, every beat of your heart, every silent tear that falls, does not escape my loving gaze. Whether you sense it or not, I am there every moment, watching, upholding, guiding you. I am present even in silence, even when you feel alone in the long, dark nights. You look around and do not see me. You listen and seem to hear nothing, but in those very silences I am closest. I do not stand afar, do not forsake, do not turn my back. It is faith that becomes the bridge for you to recognize me, the eyes to see me amid the mist of doubt, the ears to hear my voice amid the clamor of the world. Faith, my beloved, is not a vague belief or a passing emotion. Faith is a choice, an attitude of the heart, a yearning toward me, even when nothing is yet visible. Faith is your small hand reaching out in the dark to grasp my unseen hand. And when you hold on to that faith, when you place your trust in me, you will realize I have never left you. You will see that alongside your weary steps there are other footprints, mine. You will recognize that the times you thought you walked alone were the times I was carrying you, lifting you over depths you never knew. So I ask you not to accuse, but to awaken. Will you choose to hear my voice? Will you choose to open your heart to that gentle yet powerful whisper amid the noise? Will you choose to let go of the wandering voices of fear, desire, and the things you cannot control and quiet your heart to listen? Will you choose to trust me, even when I lead you along narrow paths? Through turns you cannot understand, will you choose to obey my guidance when your eyes do not see the destination? This is not a test to trap you, but a loving invitation. For I know that only when you truly choose to hear, to obey, to trust, can you step into the freedom and peace I have prepared. My child, I do not expect you to be perfect before you come to me. I only want you to come with humility, with a heart that acknowledges its limits, with faith and trust, like a child holding a parent's hand. I want you to come without the burden of managing everything, without the strong mask you wear. I want you to come as you are tired, weak, even full of doubt, only real and open. It is in that state that you will hear me most clearly, for then you are no longer filling yourself with the noise of the self. I am here, beloved one. Not only when you read prayers, not only in sacred places, but in the most ordinary moments of your life. When you work, when you eat, when you sit alone in silence, I am still there waiting for you to look up, waiting for you to pause and listen. I am still speaking, still guiding, still sending you gentle signs in the smallest details of life. But it is faith that opens your ears and eyes to recognize those signs. Faith helps you see what the natural eye cannot hear, what the natural ear does not feel, what the natural heart cannot. Faith does not remove hardship, but transforms how you walk through it. Faith does not erase the storm, but makes you one who can sleep peacefully within it, because you know I am on the boat. And I promise you, my promise never changes, that when you choose to hear my voice, when you choose to follow my guidance, your life will be transformed. Not by loud miracles, but by a deep inner change. Your heart filled with an unheard of peace. Your mind renewed, your eyes seeing life with new hope. You will no longer live in fear, in doubt, in the pressure to control everything. You will walk the path. I have set a path not promised to be easy, but promised to be sure, promised to bring peace in storms, meaning in every step. Everything that belongs to you, your rightful dreams, your deep desires, your cherished relationships, will fall into their right place at the right time, in the right way, according to my will. You will see your life as a harmonious song instead of a jumbled melody, as a completed painting instead of a blank canvas. Beloved one, I am calling you not to add burdens, but to give you true freedom. I am waiting for you to listen, not to demand, but to bless. I am ready to lead you, not so you lose yourself, but so you find yourself in my light. I am ready to speak not for blind dependence, but so you may learn love, trust, and steady steps. Do not fear, do not delay. Let your heart settle like a still lake. Let your faith become the wings that lift you. Let your obedience become the river that flows in the right direction. And you will see day by day, step by step, I am turning your life into a song of peace, a witness of unfading love. Beloved child, as you read these words, I want your heart to rest in an unchanging truth. From the beginning, I have seen you, known you, and loved you with an unconditional love. Not a moment of your life has passed outside my sight. Not a sigh, not a single tear has escaped my knowing. You may feel alone, you may think you are lost in a vast desert of trials, but trust me, on that seemingly endless road, my footprints are beside yours. Each time you thought you had fallen, it was my hand lifting you, my love raising you so you could go on. The plan I have for you is not a straight and level path, but a journey interwoven with light and shadow, so that every step you take becomes an opportunity to discover my presence. You may see the struggles, the doubts, the fears pulling you down, but I see in them the seeds of a deeper faith, a greater courage, a stronger character. Each time you fall is not proof of failure, but a page in the story. I am writing a story of redemption, of turning ashes into beauty, mistakes into lessons, and weakness into strength. Know that I do not only see your future, I go ahead of you to prepare it. When you are confused, I have already arranged people, opportunities, and doors you cannot yet see. When you are hurting, I have prepared healing. When you feel inadequate, I have already set aside abundant grace to fill the empty places. That is why I invite you not to look only at what your eyes can see, but to look with faith upon my promises. For I know the plans I have for you. This is not merely ink on a page, but a living promise unfolding each day in your life. You may ask, but I have gone astray. I have ruined so much. Does that plan still remain? I tell you, my grace is greater than your mistakes. The plan I have for you is not canceled by your stumbles. When you return, when you surrender, when you give me the right to lead, I can use even the ruins to build something new. I waste no tear. I waste no painful experience. I use them all to shape your heart, to prepare you for a future beyond your imagining. So be bold in placing your hope in me. This hope is not wishful thinking, but a certainty grounded in my unchanging love. When you lean on me, you will realize that the peace I give does not depend on circumstances. It does not arrive only when all problems are solved. It is present in the midst of the storm, like a small light still burning in the night. From that peace, hope rises like a green shoot breaking through hardened soil. This hope will hold you steady, even when everything around you falls apart. My beloved, I do not promise you a path without tears, but I promise that every tear will be wiped away. I do not promise you will never grow weary, but I promise to be your place of rest. I do not promise you will never lose your way, but I promise to be the voice calling you back. My hand never lets go, my love never changes, and my plan is never destroyed. Every step you take, however slow or trembling, is still within the orbit of eternal love. Let these words become an anchor for your soul. When storms rise and the night stretches long, remember that there is an unseen yet steady hand holding yours. Remember, there is a heart beating for you, a love covering you, and a future awaiting you. A future I have prepared, filled with peace, with hope, with life. This is my promise, and I never break a promise. You only need to trust, to step forward, to give me the right to lead. And when you do, you will see everything change. The darkness will fade, the dawn will come, and you will stand firm on the very path I prepared for you from the beginning. Oh, my beloved child, when the shadows of life descend, when you feel lost in a wilderness with no way out, when each breath feels heavy, as though carrying the sky upon your shoulders, I want you to know this truth: you have never been alone. Even in the moments you think no one is near, no one is listening, I am there silently, carrying you, lifting you over rough terrain, over jagged slopes. I walk beside you, not merely to observe, but to guide you, to hold your trembling hand, to whisper into your heart the gentle comfort the world cannot give. Every tear you shed I catch, every weary sigh I hear. There is no pain within you that I do not know, no wound I do not feel more deeply than you yourself. Child, I know the turmoil tearing at your heart, the weariness eroding your hope, the helplessness like wild waves engulfing you. You feel small, weak, inadequate, as if you are only a dim spark in the vast universe. The world can be harsh. The judgments, the disdainful looks, the memories of past failures cling to you, making you forget who you are. But I tell you, my beloved, you are already enough. You do not need to prove anything to me, nor carry the burden of perfection on your shoulders. You are my beloved creation, shaped by my own hands, formed in my image, bearing my breath within you. Every contour of you, every thought, every stirring of your heart I know and love. I rejoice over you, not because of the successes the world measures, but because your very existence delights me. Do not let the accusations of this life define you. Do not let past mistakes or harsh criticisms carve chains around your heart. In my eyes, you are not the sum of your failures, not the product of judgment. You are the precious jewel I placed in this world with a great purpose. I look at you with eyes of love, eyes that do not see the stains of your past, but the limitless potential, the hidden strength, and the deep beauty of your soul. You are far more precious to me than you can imagine. Do not compare yourself with others, for I made you uniquely with no copy anywhere in this world. I placed within you things only you can carry, qualities only you possess, and a path only you can walk. You may not yet see all that potential. You may be doubting, weary, exhausted, but even now I am brooding over you like a mother hen over her chicks, holding you in my arms like a father embracing a child who has wandered home. You do not need to strive to be worthy of me, for you have been my treasure from the moment you were formed in your mother's womb. Let my words be like cool water, washing away every prejudice, every fear, every sense of inadequacy the world has planted in your mind. Allow me to breathe into your soul new life, new confidence, new peace. Each time you are weak, I do not despise you. On the contrary, I love you even more, like a father holding his child closer when it cries. I do not wait for you to be perfect before coming to you. In your weakest moments, I am already there, lifting you up, wiping your tears, whispering in your ear. You are enough. You are beautiful, strong, and precious in my eyes. The world may continue to say you are unworthy, that you have failed, that you are a burden, but remember, my voice is louder than the world's. I see in you a fire that has never gone out, a seed of life that has never dried up. I see in you the potential to rise after storms, to blossom after winter, to shine even in the dark. Look at yourself through my eyes, eyes full of love, full of hope, full of faith. When you see yourself as I see you, you will realize you no longer need to fear, no longer need to strain to become someone else. You are free to be yourself, to live fully, to love, and to be loved. Child, you are not a mistake, not a hopeless wanderer. You are the one I have chosen, the bearer of my image, my joy in this changing world. Believe that though storms arise, I still carry you. Though the waves surge high, I still hold your hand. I walk with you step by step, day by day, never abandoning you. And when you are weak, when you fall, when you think the road has ended, I will lift you up, place you upon my shoulders, and carry you across the abyss. You do not have to make it through the darkness alone, for I am the light that guides your way. Therefore, my beloved child, do not fear any longer. Allow me to embrace you, to heal you, to speak into your heart that you are enough, you are loved, you are chosen. Do not let the noise of this world drown out my voice. Be still and listen, open your heart and receive. You are my treasure, you are my joy, and nothing you do can make me love you less. Beloved, every breath you take, every hidden tear, every sigh you think, no one hears, none escapes my compassionate gaze. You are not just a name adrift in an endless sea of people. You are the child I cherish, the one whose name I have engraved on the palm of my hand. Each time you tremble in the dark, each time you collapse under a weight too heavy to bear, I am there silently, so close that even the faintest whisper of your call reaches me. You are never forgotten, never abandoned. Even when you think you are most alone at that very moment, I am closest, holding you with invisible arms, more real than anything else in this life. Child, know that no matter how fierce the storm, no matter how many times you lose your way, you still belong to me. I have seen you from the beginning. I have witnessed every stumble and every rise. I have touched the deepest wounds in your soul you dare not touch yourself. And what I want you to remember today is this: no failure, no mistake, no moment of weakness can sever the bond between you and me. You still belong to me as a child still belongs to its home, though it has wandered far as a drop of water still belongs to the ocean, though it has temporarily risen as vapor into the sky. I am your refuge, not a cold wall but a warm embrace. In me, you will find the peace the world cannot give, the shelter no force can break. I do not promise you that life's road will have no storms. I promise you that in the storm I will walk with you. I do not promise you will never stumble. I promise that when you fall, I will take your hand, lift you up, wipe your tears, and walk on with you. I am your strength when you are weak, your breath when you are gasping the living water for your thirsty soul. Do not be afraid, for fear only makes you forget my presence. Trust, for trust opens the door to peace. When you trust, you no longer strain to steer the boat of your life through raging waves. You let me hold the helm. You let me guide you through. The light on the other side, I promise, is no illusion. It is the true dawn awaiting you after the long night, a land where peace, hope, and unfading joy await. But even before you arrive, even in the storm, you can feel that light, for I am placing it within your very heart. Child, let these words be like sweet water refreshing the desert of your soul. Let them become your breath, your heartbeat, your reminder whenever you feel lost. You do not have to fight alone. You do not have to exhaust yourself to be loved. You have already been loved, already been chosen, already been kept from the very beginning. And that love, that strength, that help is still waiting for you, still running toward you each time you are weak. Though the storm lingers, though the tears are many, remember, my arms remain open, the lights of my house still burn. I am still the place you can return. Do not be ashamed to come back. Do not think you have gone too far. It is never too far for me to reach. You only need to return, only need to trust, only need to place your trembling hand into mine. Then every fear will soften, every burden will lighten, and you will feel another strength rising within you, the strength of my love, enough to carry you through every trial and lead you to where the light awaits. My beloved child, do you know that in my eyes your life is not merely a string of random events, not fragments drifting without purpose, but a grand tapestry? I am carefully weaving thread by thread with my unceasing love every step you take, every tear you shed, every pure laugh you release. All of it lies within my gentle providence. You may see yourself as weak, you may feel yourself broken, but in my eyes, all these pieces are being arranged into a masterpiece, a story unlike any other that no one can replicate. I am the author writing this story not with the ink of the world, but with strokes of love, with dots of patience, with lines of grace and hope. Whether you are standing on the mountaintop or wandering lost in the deepest valley, you are still held fully within my embrace. Many times you do not recognize my presence. Many times you think you are walking alone through a thick darkness, but in truth I have never left you for even a single moment. Like a father walking quietly behind a toddler, taking its first steps, arms outstretched to catch it when it stumbles, I am silently beside you, upholding, sheltering, and guiding each small step you take. I see within you what you cannot yet see yourself. I know there is a strength, a potential, a light I placed within you from the very beginning, and I am patiently nurturing that light so that one day you will discover yourself in the fullness of my will. Understand that the story I am writing for you is not beautiful only at the ending, but is beautiful in every part of the journey. Even when there are dark chapters, even when the pages are soaked with tears, they are not the final chapter. Every trial, every storm, every wound can become material for me to craft something new, to create the next chapter brighter and more hopeful. You do not need to fear or despair when you see the unfinished pages of your life, for it is precisely within that incompleteness that I reveal the beauty of grace. I do not wait for you to be perfect to love you. I love you right in your weakness, and I continue to write the story even when you scratch out or smudge the page. You are never alone on this journey. I know the world may convince you that you must struggle and fight on your own, but the truth is that you have a companion. I am the faithful friend, the compassionate father, the tireless guide. Whenever you feel lonely, remember me, turn back and whisper, "Father, I need you." At once I am there, as I have always been there. No wall is too high to keep me from reaching you, no pit too deep for me to descend and lift you up. My love for you is everlasting. It has no beginning and no end. It does not fade. It does not diminish. This love does not depend on your achievements. It does not waver with your failures or successes. It is not like the fragile love of humans, shifting with emotion. My love is steadfast as the mountains, deep as the ocean, vast as the sky. And the most wondrous truth is this: nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from that love. Not your mistakes, not your past, not your circumstances, not fear, nor any power in heaven or on earth. You belong to me, and my love covers you, even when you cannot feel it. Beloved child, keep walking with me, even when you cannot yet see the path. Believe that my hand is holding yours, leading you through every turning, every curve. With each step you take, remind your soul that you are walking not in isolation, but in my companionship. Let faith become your lamp, humility your steady feet, and my love your very breath. As you walk this way, you will see the mists of doubt dissolve, seeds of hope spring up within you, and drops of peace seep deep into your very bones. You are the story I love to tell, the poem I wrote from eternity, the masterpiece I am endlessly perfecting. Do not be ashamed of the scars, for they give your story depth, truth, strength, and compassion. Do not fear the darkness, for in the darkness I am still the light that leads. Do not doubt the love, for my love will never abandon you. You are my beloved child. You belong to me. You are sheltered in my arms. My beloved, if you truly open your heart to receive me now, I will take you deeper into the very life and peace you have long sought. I know you thirst for my words, for clear guidance, for a bright way amid the tangled paths. But to bring you into that, I must lead you into a deeper space, where your heart learns the art of waiting, the art of listening, the art of obedience, and the art of trusting in the dark. Not to punish you, but to teach you to live as a free child, not as one straining to resist everything alone. For when you learn this rhythm, you will walk lightly, serenely, at peace, even when storms rage around you. Picture yourself walking in a great garden, where I am the gardener. I know every seed you have planted. I know the time each plant will sprout. I know how to water so it will not wither. You grow impatient, wanting flowers at once, wanting sweet fruit immediately, wanting everything to ripen faster to satisfy your weary waiting. But beloved, if you pick the fruit before it is ripe, it will be bitter. If you break the flower before it blooms, it will wither. If you pull the plant before its roots are ready, it will break. So I allow all things to unfold in the perfect timing I have set, so that you receive not only the outcome, but also the maturity that comes with the process. For I care not only about what you have, but about who you are becoming. Faith itself is that seed. It is sown in you not for boasting, but for living. When you nurture faith with waiting, with prayer, with listening, the seed sends its roots deep. One day your faith will no longer be a distant theory, but the very atmosphere you breathe, the current lifting you through every difficulty. Then you will realize, I have never left you. You will recall the times you thought yourself alone and see my footprints along your path when you were weak. I carried you when you were weary. I lifted you when you fell. I caught you when you wept. I wiped your tears. You will doubt my love no longer, because you will have tasted it in your very marrow. But to reach that place, you must learn stillness. Stillness is not emptiness, but a state filled with my presence. It is not a cold silence, but a warm settling where you can hear the beating of my heart. When you pause and lay down all your striving and noise, you will hear me whisper like the wind through the trees, like a brook murmuring in the mountain crevice, like a gentle song in the night. And in that whisper you will find strength, for I am not the storm to frighten you. I am the gentle breeze to guide you home. You must learn to love this stillness, for it is the cradle of transformation. Here your fears dissolve, your false desires fall away, your needless burdens are lifted, and you return to being a small child in your Father's arms. Are you willing to choose this? Are you willing to hear my voice above the clamor of the world? Are you willing to choose peace over restlessness, obedience over resistance? Are you willing to come to me in humility, laying down every assumption that you know best? I ask not to force an answer, but to awaken your heart to desire true life. For when you thirst, I will fill you. When you seek, you will find. When you knock, the door will open. But first you must choose. Choose to place me above impatience, above anxiety, above your own will. Choose to trust and listen even when you do not understand. Beloved, I know it is not easy. I know there will be times you tremble, times you doubt, times you want to give up. I am not angry with you for that. I am patient with you. I am willing to wait hours, months, years. Every time you return, I open my arms. Every time you are weak, I lift you. Every time you cry, I wipe your tears. I have never abandoned you, and never will. You may stumble, lose your way, feel confused, but I do not change. I am the solid ground beneath your feet, the shade for your rest, the fresh water for your thirst. I am your refuge in the storm, the lamp to light your path. When you realize this, you will no longer fear the future. You will walk like a child holding its father's hand, not knowing exactly where you are going, but knowing you are safe. And when you choose to hear my voice, to obey my guidance, you will see your life transformed from within. You will feel a peace you have never known flooding your soul like cool water flowing over dry ground. You will see relationships, healed wounds, soothed dreams you thought dead coming to life again. You will walk the path I have chosen, a path that does not promise the absence of trials, but promises my presence every step. You will see everything that belongs to you, your gifts, your time, your love, your hope, placed in the right place at the right time for the right purpose. And you will become a light to others, a witness to my faithfulness and love. You will not only receive blessing, but become a channel of blessing. Child, do not fear starting small. Do not fear waiting. Do not fear silence. Begin now by taking a deep breath and letting your mind grow still. Let me speak. Let faith lead you into deeper waters. Let obedience open the door for me to act. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to believe that I understand everything. You do not need to hold everything tightly. You only need to believe that I hold you tightly. And day by day, you will see my promise come true, that I am here, that I am guiding, that I am speaking, that your life is being transformed. I am waiting for you, beloved. Not a distant deity waiting in a cold palace, but a father standing at the door, eyes scanning the road, heart overflowing with love. I do not demand offerings. I do not demand you prove yourself. I do not demand perfection. I only want you to come sit beside me, hear me speak, let me lead. And when you do, you will know what true peace is, what true freedom is, what true life is. You will know that all the worries, all the haste, all the chaos were only shadows, and that I am the reality. And that reality will set you free, heal you, and transform you from the inside out. You will not merely survive this life, you will live fully, a life abundant, rich, brimming with love, with peace, with meaning. Beloved child, this is my invitation. Choose to hear my voice. Choose to trust, choose to obey, choose to come to me with humility, with faith, with surrender. I am here ready to lead, ready to speak to you. I promise you that when you choose to hear my voice, to follow my guidance, your life will be transformed. Not by a loud miracle, but by a quiet one. The miracle of a renewed heart, a peaceful mind, a life reordered to a sacred rhythm. And all that belongs to you will come to fulfillment, not in haste, but in the perfection of my timing. This is the unchanging promise. This is the unfading love. This is myself, the one calling you today. Beloved, let your heart grow quiet once more to hear my voice clearly. Every beat of your heart, every breath you take is watched over by my love. I have kept my eyes on you as a mother watches her little child taking its first steps, as a father waits patiently for a child to return from far away. Not a single tear of yours has fallen without my care. Not a single wound in your soul is unknown to me. Not a single sigh has escaped my hearing. You think you are adrift in a vast sea of life, but in truth you are lying in my arms, sheltered, embraced, protected by a love that never fades. Child, though the storms of life rise and the winds batter, you still belong to me. No power of darkness can separate you from me. You may fall, you may grow weary, you may feel helpless, but I have never stopped holding your hand. Like a father holding the hand of a child trembling in the night storm, I am quietly guiding you through the harshest stretches. And when you stumble, do not think you are abandoned. Do not think you are forgotten. That is the very moment I lift you, carry you on, my shoulders letting you rest in my arms until you are strong enough to walk again. You are not alone, never have been, never will be. My beloved, I am your refuge, your safe home in the storm, your shade in the burning sun, your cool water when your soul is parched. I am not a cold wall you must hide behind. I am the warm embrace you can lean into. In me you find true peace, peace the world cannot give and cannot take away. When you run to me, you are not running to a stranger. You are coming home. Your home is my heart. There you are, safe, loved, healed, received completely with all your scars, your weaknesses, your tears, and even the small hopes still flickering inside you. I know you are weary. I know there are times you feel everything collapsing, every door closing, every dream fading. But right in that moment, I am working silently to arrange all things for you. I am opening paths your eyes cannot yet see, clearing obstacles you do not yet know. When you are weak, I become your strength. When you despair, I become your hope. When you are exhausted, I become the breath that sustains you. Believe this, every trial you face is not meant to crush you, but to strengthen your soul, to teach you to rely on me, to make you realize that true power does not rest in your hands, but in mine. My child, do not be afraid any longer. Fear is the shadow that clouds your eyes, making you forget the light of mine. When you trust, that light rises again, dispelling every long night. Take my hand and allow me to lead you forward. Do not think that you must be strong enough before I help you. You need only to be weak, to be honest with yourself, to call upon my name. The rest I will provide. When you have nothing left, that is when I can become everything for you. I want you to picture this like a traveler crossing a barren desert, parched in the throat and exhausted beneath a burning sun. I am the green oasis, the fresh water flowing from the rock, the cool shade where you may sit and rest. You do not have to run forever in despair. You have a place to go, arms to return to, and a heart always waiting for you. And even before you reach the oasis, I am walking beside you, step by step, breath by breath, prayer by prayer. My child, engrave this upon your heart. No matter how fierce the storm, the light awaits on the other side. That light is not only a distant vision, it already dwells within you, growing each day as you trust in me. You are not merely passing through trials. You are being led on a journey to become stronger, deeper, and filled with love. I am transforming your pain into the substance that shapes a new person, a soul that knows compassion, forgiveness, and love. As you allow me to shape you through the storms, you will become a living witness of my love and strength, so that you may shine for others who are lost as you once were. Beloved child, my arms are always open, my house is always lit, my heart always beats for you. You may go far, you may lose your way, you may forget me, but I will never forget you. You may wound yourself, but I will never cease aching for you. You may lose faith in everything, but I still believe in you. And I will wait until the day you return. Wait until you are weary from running. Wait until you lift your eyes and realize I have never left you. I also want you to know that when you return, you are not coming to me as a fearful sinner, but as a beloved child. I do not stand there with reproach in my eyes. I open my arms to hold you close, to heal you, to wipe away your tears, and to give you new strength. You do not have to be perfect to come to me. You only need to be honest. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to come as a child. I do not wait for you to bring offerings. I wait for you to bring your own heart. My child, the journey ahead will still have many storms, but remember, I am here. I am not only the destination at the end of the road. I am the one walking with you in every step, every breath, every day. Each morning when you awake, I am there. Each night when you weep alone, I am there. Each moment when you feel too weak to rise again, I am there. You cannot see me with your natural eyes, but you can sense me in the sudden peace amidst the storm, in the strange strength that appears when you are most tired, in the gentle hope that sprouts in despair. That is me present, upholding, guiding. Believe, my child, that this journey is not meaningless. Every tear you shed, I remember. Every time you fall, I lift you up. Every prayer you whisper, I hear. I will bring you through, not merely to survive, but to be transformed. You will no longer be the trembling child in the storm. You will become the one who steps into the light with a heart full of love, patience, and humility. You will carry within you the story of a child once lost but found, once weak but upheld, once fallen but raised. and that story will become a source of hope for others. Beloved child, I say it once more, do not be afraid. Trust in me. Do not let fear make you tremble. Do not let failure halt your steps. Do not let the darkness deceive you that the light is gone. The light is still here, love is still here, I am still here, and I will keep walking with you, keep teaching you, keep lifting you, until you step into the dawn, until you see that everything I have said today is true. You will know that I have never left you, never and will never. You will find yourself safe in my arms, steady in the storm, and free to love, to hope, to live fully as you were born to live. Beloved child, let my promise in Jeremiah 29:11 sink deep into your heart like a sweet stream refreshing a thirsty soul. You are not just a drifting fragment in a vast universe, but a part of the great symphony I wove before the world was formed. Every beat of your heart is within my plan. Every tear you shed I have stored. Every smile of yours is the light I cherish. Never think you are only a tiny speck of dust. In my eyes, you are a precious creation, chosen, loved, and placed within a design filled with hope. I know you have doubted many times, have asked, why must I go through suffering? Why must I bear burdens too heavy to lift? But my child, suffering is not the end. It is the ground where I sow the seeds of hope. Like a grain of wheat must fall into the earth and die to sprout life, you too must pass through darkness to know the value of light. Every pain you carry, if placed in my hands, will become the foundation for transformation, for strength, and for deeper faith. I do not create suffering to harm you. I allow it to train your soul, to teach you to rely on me rather than your own strength. Remember that the plan I have for you is not like the promises of the world. The world paints quick pictures of success, wealth, and fame, but they are only illusions fading like grass in the field. My plan endures forever. It reaches your soul, touches eternal life. The peace I give is not a false silence, but stillness in the midst of storms. The future I promise is not a road without trials, but a future where you never walk alone. My child, there will be times you feel abandoned, but remember this, when you see only one set of footprints in the sand, it is then I am carrying you. There will be days you feel too weak, but that is when my strength is most clearly shown. There will be nights you weep in secret, but I have sat beside your bed, counted every tear, and turned them into bright jewels in your crown. Nothing happens in your life without my knowing, and no pain exists that I cannot turn to good for your future. Hope, beloved child, is not a frail little flame, but the torch I place in your hand. That torch will light your way through the night and remind you that dawn surely comes. When everything around you collapses, hope stands firm because it is built on the solid foundation of my promise. Your future is not dim, for I have already written pages filled with light. You need only to hand me the reins, and I will lead you on paths you never dreamed of. You may ask, how do I know I am following the plan? The answer is simple. Keep your heart in me. Listen for my voice in the quiet walk, in love and faithfulness. My plan is not a complex map for you to guess at. It is like a lamp, lighting your feet one step at a time. I do not show you the whole road, because if you saw it, you would fear or grow proud. But I give you enough light for today, and as you step forward, the light will shine for tomorrow. Beloved child, know that the future I give you is not just for you, but that you may become a blessing for many. The trials you pass through will become powerful testimonies to comfort others in pain. The tears you have shed will become streams of refreshment for thirsty souls. Therefore, do not take lightly what you go through. Every experience, however painful, I weave into the larger tapestry where you become the bridge for others to discover. My love, my child. I invite you today to lay down the weight of tomorrow's worries. You do not need to control everything, for I am in control. You do not need to strive to prove your worth, for I called you mine before you did anything. You do not need to fear the future, for your future is already held in my hands. Learn to rest in this truth. Let your soul be still before me. Let my peace seep into your very bones. Let my hope become the strength that holds you steady. Beloved child, remember, your journey does not end in darkness, but in glorious light. Every step, every drop of sweat, every trial is leading you to the place I have prepared. It is a future full of hope, where you will see clearly that everything that happened had purpose. One day when you look back, you will smile because you will understand that every rugged step was used by me to draw you closer. And then you will see that nothing is more precious than being in my eternal plan, a plan of peace, a plan of hope, a plan for a radiant future. With all my love, I am still calling you, still writing your story, still leading you to the place where you will see that everything you have been through was not in vain. You need only to keep trusting, keep humble, keep walking beside me. Allow me to write the story of your life with my grace, my guidance, and my unfailing love. And always remember that at the end of every chapter, every line, every word, there is a signature that never changes. With all my love, your Heavenly Father. Now, beloved child, open your heart wide, let every breath become a prayer, and lift up to your Heavenly Father the deepest cries of your soul. Almighty God, my beloved Father, today I come before you in trembling and humility. I acknowledge that every breath, every heartbeat of mine is given by you. I stand before you like a child before a father, with nothing to boast but this fragile heart. Please open the eyes of my spirit to see your hand in every event. Open my ears to hear your voice amid the noise of the world. Lead me into the place of peace where I can hear your gentle guidance and live each day in your good and perfect will. Heavenly Father, who knows all my paths, I bow before you with a broken heart. I know I have nothing but need. Please turn my weaknesses into opportunities for your power to be revealed. Grant me patience to wait, faith to stand firm, and humility to realize that I need you more than ever. Though I cannot see the whole picture, let me trust the hand that paints it. Lord, author of my life, I offer you today's page of my story. Please continue writing it with your grace, your hope, and your love. Turn the tear-stained pages into chapters full of peace. Turn the stories I thought had ended into new beginnings. Lead me on the path you choose, even when it does not look like what I expected, for I believe your ways are higher than mine. Loving Lord, I thank you that you have not left me alone, even when I am weak, lost, or closed in heart. I thank you that you saw the good in me when I could not see it myself. I thank you that every trial I go through is not meaningless but a lesson, a journey to become stronger in you. I offer this gratitude as a small song, unworthy, yet sincere, from the depths of my heart. Good Father, I thank you for every breath I take every morning. I wake every quiet miracle unfolding in my life that I often fail to notice. I thank you for your tireless patience, for teaching me with love and not with punishment. I thank you for giving me the chance to learn, to listen, to grow, to become a better version of myself in you. I lift this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may build a strong community of faith.